Besiata Dishmaya Be'ezer Hashem Yitbarach. We are in the Sefer, the book, the holy book, B'yam Darkecha on Shabbat Kodesh. We are in the chapter on Tzafra de Shabbata, the morning of Shabbat, and we are learning about. Last week we learned about the preparation that goes into getting to Shaharit, right? The mikveh and the Torah learning that we do. And today we're going to be learning already about the kavanot of the tefillah of Shaharit, the intentions behind the tefillah of Shaharit, at least on a certain level, and different parts of it, and the kriyat Torah, the reading of the Torah. B'siyata dishmaya, may the shiur be for everybody who needs a refuah and all of Am Yisrael, and for the tzlacha of the chayalim, and the speedily recovery of all of the chatufim, all of the captive, those that are alive and those that are even more alive. Without Hashem Yitbarach, we'll only see good things in Am Yisrael. Tov, Pisukei Dezimra, right? We have the songs leading up to the Shema. They are called Pisukei Dezimra, the verses of pruning, and they are to cut away all of the negative energy in Pashut. But let's see what we have here. On Shabbat we have additions. In Shabbat we have additions, and we have a longer Pisukei Dezimra than normal. Ki b'Shabbat she'azman she'me'ir ora ein sof. Shabbat is this time that the light of the infinite light of Hashem is illuminated in the world. Azay levavot ptuchim l'shir ron v'shir v'shevach le'Hashem Yitbarach. Then the hearts are open to a song of praise, a song of prayer, songs of praising Hashem. Barichut u'vitlahavut, with length and with passion, with excitement. And every single mizmor, every mizmor of Tehillim, right? All of Pisukei Dezimra, is made up of Tehillim, of David HaMelech. And every single song, there is great secrets that are explained in the Zohar HaKadosh. Zohar Teruma, whoever wants to look there, Zohar Teruma. Aval gam al pi pshatam, hem meleim b'shvachim ikerim v'niflaim. But even if you leave the Zohar and you just focus on the simple meanings of these psalms, if you were to read the psalms themselves, the psalms that belong to Pisukei Dezimra, you will see that they're filled, even in the most simple understanding, with amazing, beautiful, precious praises of Hashem that are wonderful, and they're all in the intention to leshir le'el chai, to sing to the living God, to connect to the living God. In the morning, we merit to a nefesh, ruach, and neshama on a higher, deeper sense than we got at the nighttime. Right? There's one nighttime that we do, there's one download that we do at nighttime, right? Which is Boi B'Shalom and Baruch Hu, and also the Veichulu, right? We have three different stages that we're bringing down this Neshama Yetera. So too in the morning. Now in Tzafra de Shabbata, there's another additional level of Nefesh, Ruach, and Neshama that's coming down, besides what we received the previous night. Because right now, in the morning of Shabbat, we're on a much higher level than we were at the nighttime of Shabbat. Because this additional level that we received on the nighttime of Shabbat already gave us the ability to see God within creation, right? Within the world, within all of the things that happen during my 6 days of the week, to be able to find Hashem there and to look at the physical thing and to experience godliness by way of it. That's the ability that we received by way of the Nefesh and Neshama and the Ruach that we downloaded at night. To see the hand of Hashem and the kingship of Hashem in every single finer detail. And now we're receiving the power in our Neshama to merit to be able to receive a higher level of recognition, a higher level of connection and emotion and comprehension of Hashem Himself. To recognize the wonderful and super powerful light of the Ein Sof, that there's nothing besides it at all. All there is the light of the Ein Sof. The morning already, right? At nighttime we're dealing with how to find Hashem in my life. In the morning I'm already dealing what is just Hashem in reality. Like Hashem is behind all of reality. Forget my individual life, the finer details. What are we tapping into bichlal? What is this thing called Hashem? And to understand that there's nothing besides Him. And the order is that when we say Nishmat kol chai, right? By the way, right, like we said last week, Nishmat kol chai is when you make the transition from nighttime to daytime of Shabbat. Right? Until Nishmat kol chai, you're still working off last night's lights. You're still sort of saying the nighttime download that you got from Shabbat. From Nishmat kol chai, we start to switch into the morning mode, into the bitul mode, whereas the nighttime was bina. Here from Nishmat Kol Chai we receive the nefesh. And in Tfilat Amidah, when we say Hashem Sfatai Tiftach, we receive the Ruach HaYetera. And when we do the Kiddusha of Musaf, when we say the word Ayeh, right, where is you, where is the honor of Hashem, there we receive the level of Neshama Yetera. And B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to explain each one in its proper place. What?
When do we say Ayeh?
In Musaf, in the Chazara of Musaf, in the repetition. Ayeh Mekom Kevodah Laritzon. Ayeh, that's the height of all of your tefillah, that's the highest place there, right? And then you're receiving the neshama. So we have nefesh in Nishmat Kol Chai. We have the ruach when we say Hashem Sfatai Tiftach, and we start the Amidah of Shaharit. And then we're getting the neshama when we get to the point of Ayeh, the repetition of Musaf. Nefesh Yetera, what's the Nefesh Yetera of the morning? All of the Pisukei Dezimra, all of the psalms that we say leading up to the tefillah, they are an expression of love and yirah and dveikut, awe, reverence, and attachment to Hashem. And the Jew's soul starts to get so passionate, and it goes and grows and progressively gets closer and closer until it gets to a part where it's such a burning fire by the time of Nishmat Kol Chai, and then the person screams out that he recognizes all of the good that Hashem does, Be'eretz HaChaim, in the land of the living, V'rak elav nafsho kosefet, and it's only towards Hashem that my soul is really yearning. All I really want in my deepest being, my deepest sense of as a human being, all I'm really desiring constantly is connection to Hashem. And then we say the words Nishmat Kol Chai, the soul of all living things. Anu mikablim tosefet nefesh, and there we receive an additional level of nefesh, which is the ability to take upon myself all the yoke of the work that I have to do. What is the nefesh? What does additional nefesh give me? What's the work of a nefesh? It's the most bodily soul that you have, right? So it's the ability to take upon yourself the work that needs to be done in moving towards serving Hashem, right? To take on this all from a place of emunah, but now it comes from the ability of recognizing the reality of Hashem and His oneness, right? So last night Friday night I have to take this on. The nefesh is I don't understand it, I don't get it, but I need to do the right thing, so I'm going to do the right thing. Right? That's the level of nefesh in the lower level. But here it's Hashem is everything. There's nothing besides Hashem, so I have to do what He's telling me to do. It's coming already from a higher level of comprehension. It's not because, I'm a human being and there's these rules that I have to follow, so I might as well do that. It's no, I'm just another revelation of Hashem, and I recognize that Hashem's behind everything, so I have to do this. Right? And this is a level higher than what we received at night. There it came from how Hashem is revealed in the creation. From by way of seeing the clear revelation of Hashem in the creation, I understand that I have to ascend and I have to receive new levels of emunah, and I have to want to be happy in receiving Ol Malchut Shamayim, the yoke of the kingship of Hashem, meaning keeping the Torah. But now, in the light of Shaharit, of the morning of Shaharit, a person goes into a recognition on a higher level of the light of Hashem, and he goes into this it brings him to a place of tranquility, of rest, and he merits to a level of bitul, of self-nullification inside the greater light of Hashem, and a recognition that there's nothing in the world besides the light of the Ein Sof, the infinite light of Hashem, and from that place, one second. Someone go in the group and see what Moshe needs, please. And from that place, we're able to mamash do the work that we have to do from a place of tranquility, from a place of bitul. And from this, there's a light that comes down to us practically, a much higher level of nefesh. And he receives a greater desire to take upon himself the mitzvot of the Torah. Because when a person receives and feels inside of his heart the reality of Hashem, and you nullify yourself to Hashem, then you merit that this feeling that comes into you until it brings you mamash to a place of action, that you really act in this world. And you feel that you want to merit to receive Ol Malchut Shamayim. You receive that you understand that it's a gift, that it's a meritorious thing. It's something that you, Baruch Hashem, you're zoche to be able to get it. Shalom Aleichem. want to serve Hashem in this world. I want to reveal Hashem's light in this world. And therefore, when you say the words, these words of Nishmat Kol Chai, you have intention and you think. And if you can, you also feel that you are receiving right now a Nefesh Yetera in the morning of Shabbat. Right? It's not the same as last night. This is a deeper ability for my soul to be able to recognize Hashem. And from that, I will take upon myself the Torah and the Ol Malchut Shamayim, the yoke of the kingship of Hashem, with a desire, with a complete desire, and with simcha, and with happiness. Ve'yachush, and feel tangibly. Everything is filled with the light of Hashem. You nullify, you're so to say melting inside this light of Hashem that runs the world. And then Hashem sends you the ability to recognize Him truthfully and to take upon yourself everything that you need to do in truth. All the mitzvot that you have to receive. So what's going on here? Simply, you get to the point of Nishmat Kol Chai on Shaharit in the morning. You are right now downloading a higher level of Nefesh. What is Nefesh? The ability to take upon myself the mitzvot. There's Ol Malchut Shamayim, the kingship of Hashem, the yoke of the kingship of Hashem, meaning everything that Hashem is expecting me to do as a Jew in this world. When I get to the night time, I can bring that, I understand, okay, I see Hashem in all of the finer details of the world, I should be serving Him, I should be keeping these mitzvot. In the morning, you recognize that not only is Hashem revealed in all of the finer details, there's nothing in the world besides Hashem. Therefore, I'm happy and I'm excited to serve Hashem and to be a vessel to reveal Him in the world. And then we get to the singing of El Adon. Achar kach Birkat Yotzer, which is already in the blessing of Yotzer, which is already inside the blessings of the Shema. We have the piyut that's written there, El Adon, that it's according to the Aleph Bet. And it's a very, very big secret what's going on here in this El Adon. Because during the weekdays, we also say a certain thing that's Aleph Bet in the brachas of the Shema. We say, Kel Baruch Gadol De'ah, every word is an individual word that is according to the Aleph Bet, right? But on Shabbat, it goes longer. In the weekdays, we're doing the 22 letters of the Aleph Bet in one word. But on Shabbat, every single letter gets a few words. Because on Shabbat, the light is more revealed, it's more clear, it's more explained, it's more open, and more people, there's more to see within these 22 letters. It's not just constricted into 22 words that represent 22 letters. Here you have already 22 phrases, right? You have 22 sayings. It's much deeper. And the Zohar Kadosh in Truma goes in depth here in explaining these different secrets that are hidden here. And it explains why these two batim, arishonim, they have 5. The first 2 paragraphs have 5 words in them. And the paragraphs that come after that, they have 4 words in every one. And the last ones, every single one has 6 words. So we go from 5 to 4 to 6. And the Zohar Kadosh reveals that the first 2 verses, the first 2 batim, they are Sharim shel Ha'arat Bina. They are the gates of the illumination of Bina. Ve'asharim em chamishim. There's 50 gates of Bina. כנודע שיש נון שערי בינה, לכן כנגדם יש 5 תיבות בשניהם. Therefore, in correspondence, there's 5 in each. Right? There's 2 verses. Each of them have 5. Together you have 10. Right? 10 times 5, 50. Right? וכל הבתים שהם 4. And all of the verses that are 4 words, they're in correspondence to the 4 legs of the Merkava Kedosha, the holy chariot. B'chol elu abatim shehem 4, and all of these houses, and all these verses that are 4, b'kulam yachad yesh ayin bet milim. Altogether, there are 72 words, keneged shem ayin bet, which is in correspondence to the name of ayin bet of Hashem, right? There's Yud Kei Vav Kei spelled out with Yuds, right? Which is the name of Chesed, Gematria Chesed. And corresponds to Atzilut, nachon? V'abatim shebehem shisha milim, in the houses, in the verses that you have 6 words, they are mechuvanim keneged sheshet aruchot asher ba'olam haba. These are in correspondence to the 6 different winds, energy, directions that you have in the world to come. Up, down, east, south, west, and north. This is a mashal. This is a parable, right? שבהם מתגלים כל הבחינות הערה שבעולם כי כל בחינה נשלמת לצד. This is a way of expressing us that all of the different lights that come down into the world, in the world to come, all of them, so to say, are completed to one side or the other. There's 6 different energies that are going on in the world to come, right? And that they are represented by up, down, east, south, west, north. Obviously, if you want to go into depth here, you have to go into the Zohar and Truma and to really get down to this. He's just bringing you the summary of what the Zohar has to say. But no, one thing's for sure, when you get to that part of Adon, right, in Shaharit of Shabbat, you're dealing with a very, 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 very deep poem, right, and that is broken down to 3 parts of 5, 4, and 6. The 5 is in correspondence to the 50 gates of Bina, it's the illumination of Bina. The parts of 4 are correspondence to the 4 legs of the Merkava, right? And when you get to the last part, it's broken down into 6, which corresponds to the 6 directions of energy that are flowing in the world to come. Then we get to Ruach Yetera, right? We said we have the download of Nefesh, Ruach, and Neshama of the morning uniquely. So Nefesh goes to Nishmat Kol Chai. Ruach, who remembers where it is? Hashem Sfatai Tiftach, right? Right as soon as we say that, Hashem Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagit Tilatecha, right when we're starting the Amidah, there we download the Ruach. Right in the beginning of the Amidah, as soon as we finish saying Hashem Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagit Tilatecha, there you have intention to receive the higher level of Ruach, this additional Ruach, meaning that you have intention that right now you're receiving the godly power inside your soul to comprehend more the reality of Hashem and His oneness. And from such an asaga, such a comprehension in the truth of Hashem, the true reality of Hashem, you will tangibly feel, meaning a midah, an emotion, a ruach, right? You will feel this energy, this wind of spirit coming through you, that you go into ahava, ve'ira, ve'dvekut, in a whole another level. Another level of love, a deeper level of awe of Hashem, and a deeper connection and relationship with Hashem. That's what's going on when you get into already the Ruach, which is the Amidah already. You feel Hashem deeper, you live Hashem deeper, you love Hashem deeper, you have more respect for Hashem, and you have more of a deeper hug with the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You have more of a relationship. So up until there is Shaharit. Shaharit, right, we said, in the morning we're downloading a new level of Nefesh, Ruach, and Neshama. Nefesh comes in Nishmat Kol Chai. That's the ability to take upon the work that I have to do in a deeper level, from a recognition of that Hashem is behind everything and there's nothing besides Him, which is different than the nighttime. Right? In the nighttime, I see Hashem throughout all the finer details. In the morning, I see, forget the details, Hashem is just everything. Right? And that should allow me to take upon the mitzvot that I have to do. And then when we get to the Amidah, and then we get to Adon, and Adon, we're already dealing with already much deeper secrets that are, the Zohar tells us, are dealing with a whole bunch of different realms of spirituality. And then when we start the Amidah, we already now have the ability to connect to Hashem in a deeper way emotionally. Now, B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to go into the Kriyat Torah, the reading of the Torah. And I just have to say what Mori Rabbi Yitzchak Raphael Abuchatzir always says, that the whole entire week and all of the energy that you need for your week is brought down in the parasha, right? Everything you're going to be going through, when you read the parasha, whatever the ideas the parasha is talking about, by way of the reading of the parasha, you have the ability to download all of that energy into you. Right? Last week we were talking about Shabbat Haaretz, Shabbat of Eretz Yisrael, Shemitah, Yovel, being a slave, coming out of slavery, freedom, Geula, all these different things were talked about in the parasha. You're downloading the ability to experience and to go through all of those things, to get the kelim that you need. So just a short introduction from the Rebbe. But to understand here, according to B'yam Derkecha, we have to understand the depth of what is it to read the Torah on Shabbat. When we read the Torah on Shabbat, there's a unique light that comes down. Or mufla hu ma'ala. Bar Yochai continuation. Or mufla hu ma'ala. It's a wondrous light from a very, very, very exalted place. There's people nowadays that we see that they don't have such a connection to the reading of the Torah. But it happens that they don't have this connection and they don't have the taste of the reading of the Torah because they don't really understand what is the importance of the Torah reading of Shabbat. In a deeper sense, inside of their hearts, in the chambers of their heart, they have a question: what do I even need to read this right now? What's the point? What's the point of reading the parasha on Shabbat? And they have this thought: the message here that the Torah is telling me, I've heard it many, many times. Think about a person who's 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old. He's been his whole entire life religious. Right? 1 times 50, 50, let's say he's 50 years old. 50 times 52? How many, 53? How many parashiyot are we talking here? How many times has he heard the same exact parasha? Over and over again. But when a person merits to understand the greatness of the reading of the Torah, and he understands the power that the power of the light that's coming down right then, that every single word in the reading of the Torah, me'ira benishmato, is illuminating his soul, then for sure he'll have more of a desire and more of a reason to want to hear this wonderful reading of the Torah. And he'll go from chayil to chayil, from parasha to parasha, listening to everything that he needs to hear. So first we have Ptichat Eichal, the opening of the chamber, right? The opening of the ark. The Zohar Kadosh says, Amar Rabbi Shimon says, Kad mafkin sefer Torah b'tzibura lemikre be mitpatchan trei shmaya derachamin umeorin et ahava le'ela. When the tzibur comes to the point where they have to open the ark to bring out the Torah, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, there's the gates of mercy in heaven are opened up, and they arouse supernal love. Meaning when we come to open the ark, we're opening the gates of mercy in Shamayim, and there's an arousal of love from Hashem's side towards us. Klomar, opening up the ark and taking out the Sefer Torah causes that there should be an opening of gates in heaven, and there's an arousal of love from Hashem towards us. And when this love is aroused inside Hashem, Anu mivakshim rachamim, we start to ask for mercy, and it's specifically by way of saying Brich Shmei, right? And there's a famous story. Whoever doesn't know this needs to hear this. There's a famous story, right? We just had Lag BaOmer and all the lights of Rabbi Shimon. We're still working off the lights of Rabbi Shimon, right? and Rabbi Shimon says that this book, the Zohar, will bring Am Yisrael to redemption, right? From this book, we will go into redemption. There was a story of a wagon, a train cart in the Holocaust that was abandoned by the Nazis, but they were all locked. They left the Jews locked inside the train to die, and all these Jews are together. And there was one train with a bunch of Hasidim together, and they started to, what can we do? We're stuck here. We're abandoned. It's freezing cold. We're in a train. We can't get out of here. With 20 bodies all together. Some of them already dead. And those are our lives. So how in the world are we going to get out of here? One person said, the Zohar is the book of Geula, the book is the book of redemption. Does anybody remember a piece of the Zohar? And everybody starts to think, who remembers the Zohar, who remembers not? And there was one chazan there was a cantor there in the train, and he says, Brich Shmei de Mare Alma. He started saying Brich Shmei from the opening of the ark, and someone then was able to open up the cart somehow, broke a wood, whatever, was able to break the cart, and they all got out. Everybody that was alive in the train managed to get out and actually survive from the Holocaust. Everybody that was there by way of the saying of one part of the Zohar. And how? Because we say it every single Shabbat. So let's understand what is that part of the Zohar. The Torah, the Sefer Torah, is our connection with Hashem. It's our connector. It's our vehicle of connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem reveals Himself in His world by way of the Divrei Torah. Shi chemda gnuza shelo. It's Hashem's most precious treasure, gift that's hid for us. So when Am Yisrael comes towards the Torah to take the book and to read from it, it's so to say, we're reenacting the giving of the Torah, what happened on Mount Sinai. That there, what happened in Mount Sinai, Hashem was revealed to the world. And so too now, when we're going to read the Torah, Hashem will be revealed again to the world. Just the fact that you open up the ark, it's the biggest proof that you want and you desire the light of Hashem. Therefore, just the fact that you open the ark, they open up gates of love and mercy in Shemayim. You didn't even read from the book yet. Just the fact that you want to read from the book. You just opened up the ark. You, so to say, opened up gates of mercy and love in the Shemayim. In a deeper sense, in a more internal sense, the Sefer Torah itself is the level of Chokhmah. Right? Because there's a revelation of the light of Hashem by way of the Torah. Then we recognize Hashem by way of that reading, and we nullify ourselves to Him. The ark itself, where the Torah is kept, is the aspect of Bina. Bina comes from binyan, a house, a building, right, already. The Eichal, this ark, is the place that inside of it the book is guarded. So too the Bina helps and guards the Chokhmah. And the idea of Bina is this yearning towards Hashem, and therefore just opening up this place of yearning towards Hashem is already a preparation for the revelation of the light of the Torah that's going to come. And it expresses our yearning of Am Yisrael towards the light of our Father in heaven, and our Ratzon to receive this light and to nullify ourselves to Him. Just a side note here of what he brings, just to understand it in a different, more Kabbalistic way. Then we have the opening of the Sefer Torah and the Kriyah of the Torah, the reading of it. The Arizal explains that when you open up the Sefer Torah, there's a revelation of a supernal light, Shu Pnimiyut Kol HaMilim, which is the internal aspect, the hidden secrets behind all of the words that you're about to say. All the words that are inside the Sefer Torah. V'kvar me'ir ba'adam be'ofen kali or bitul. This just the fact that you opened up the Sefer Torah, there's already a light of bitul that is illuminated inside your soul. But it's done in a very general way, and afterwards it goes into finer details. This light comes down and is brought inside of you when you're reading it actually, and every single word has its own unique light that's coming down, so that you can receive this light in the proper fashion. Then, when we come to read, this whole paragraph is in bold. Nichnas or Hashem yitbarach letochenu. The light of Hashem, so to say, comes inside of us. Ve'mitnatznetz betoch ha'asaga shalanu bekazeh chozek. There's a spark from within our comprehension of such strength. Ad she'im adam marich et godel hazman. If a person appreciates the greatness of this time, ומתרכז בכל מילה, and you focus on every single word, הוא יכול לזכות ממש להרגיש את האור הגדול הזה. You can really merit to feel this great light that's coming inside of you. ולהרגיש שהוא בטל בתוך אור השם יתברך, and to feel how you're nullified inside the light of Hashem. Meaning if you really focus, every single word is bringing more and more light of Hashem inside of you, and you'll be able to feel it. כי מרוב האור שמתגלה בקריאת ספר תורה. From such light that's revealed in the reading of the Sefer Torah, and every single word inside of their resting is such powerful light, then the souls hear it and they feel this nullification happening to Hashem, and from this nullification is happening from such a place of delight, of ta'anug, nifla, of wonderful pleasure. And this ta'anug, it's such a joy, such a delight to just feel the truth of Hashem being revealed, and it's such a ta'anug on just the merit to be able to nullify myself and to re-include myself inside my Creator. Because when a Jew contemplates and tries to feel how at the time of a reading there's a shefa of light that comes down upon him, an abundance of light that comes into him, and so to say Hashem is talking to you and He's revealing Himself to you. Ad kidei kach she'efshar lizkot bezeh lehargashat bitul nifla. To such a level that you can merit just by way of paying attention to the Torah, that you have a high level of nullification. Specifically, the Baal Koreh himself, the reader of the Torah himself, he has to pay attention to the greatness of the revelation that is being done at the time of the reading. He has to unify his speech to Hashem, meaning he has to remember and tangibly feel that it's not his own words, it's not his own speech. Everything is done by way of Hashem and is being revealed by way of Him. And all he is a pipe to reveal the words of Hashem. Like the Shekhinah, so to say, the revelation of Hashem is speaking through his throat. And he's not doing anything. If he reads with that kind of intention, then Be'ezat Hashem, the reading will illuminate very much. His ego won't be preventing the revelation of the light. So a lot of the revelation of the light of the neshama of Hashem Yitbarach that's behind those words, a lot of how much you're going to receive of that depends on who is the person that's reading and how pure he is. Not just anybody can get up to read the Torah. Or anybody could get up to read the Torah, but they have to be pure of mind. Meaning that everything they're doing, they're realizing that it's not about them. It's not that we hear their beautiful voice. It's that we hear the words of Hashem being revealed to us, and the light of Hashem comes into us and changes us and how we act.
I heard a story about the rabbi.
About
the rabbi who he heard the clueless and he fainted.
With the Rebbe, with the Alter Rebbe.
Yeah.
The Alter Rebbe would hear the Tofachad, he would be crying, would hear the Alter Rebbe was away, he heard the Tofachad, he had doctor said maybe he has to fast on Yom Kippur, he fainted. And he said, when my father read it, I never heard any curses, I only heard bracha.
Yeah, you see, mamash. Lishtok bizman kriya. You have to be quiet at the time of the reading of the Torah. When we're reading the Torah, everybody in that room needs to be quiet and to pay attention. You have to be very careful. You have to be very careful to not speak at the time of the reading. Like it's psak halacha in Shulchan Aruch. כיוון שהתחיל הקורא לקרוא בספר תורה, אסור לספר אפילו בדברי תורה, אפילו בין גברא לגברא. Since the psak in the Shulchan Aruch says, from the moment that the Baal Koreh starts to read the Torah, you are not allowed to speak about anything, including divrei Torah, even if it's between one person and another. Just two people sitting next to each other. Footnote here, ואפילו דיבור דברי תורה בין גברא לגברא, אין זה פשוט להתיר. Just a dvar Torah between two friends. Hey, listen to this idea. It's a nice idea. Even that.
Even with the stuff.
Nachon, in between the readers. Nachon. Even in between the readers, right? When the Baal Koreh is not actually reading the thing. Even that's not so simple to be matir, to make permissible. A lot of the poskim, they don't let you at all talk in that period of time. Meaning from the time the Torah gets out until it goes back. And bichlal, most poskim say the whole time you're in the shul, you shouldn't be talking at all, right? But for divrei Torah, you're not even allowed to say a dvar Torah between two people that are getting an aliyah. Bifrat shamitziuti, specifically that the reality is that a lot of times people continue to talk and they don't stop, and then the next person comes to get his aliyah and he's already saying his blessings, and that's for sure. So everybody agrees across the board. Every posek agrees. From the time that guy starts to make his bracha, no one's allowed to talk. So you started to talk when some of the poskim say you could say a dvar Torah, and let's say the anachat yesod. Give you the benefit of the doubt that you are saying divrei Torah, right? But the problem is, are you going to stop before the next person starts to make his bracha? Because then for sure everyone agrees you're not allowed to speak. Benosaf, and on top of that, even other people start to learn from you. And then they're going to already be saying mundane things. They're not going to be saying divrei Torah. They're just going to see two people speaking, and they look at you, you look maybe more religious than them, you maybe know halacha better than them, you're talking about divrei Torah, they're going to be talking about sports or politics. כי אם תלמיד חכם מדבר מלימוד זמן הזה, אזי כאשר מעירים לאדם אחד שמדבר דברי חול, הדיברו הוא מצטדק לאמור, הלא גם תלמיד חכם פלוני מדבר. Right? You're a תלמיד חכם, or you look like a תלמיד חכם, and you're talking in divrei Torah, and then the other guy over there, Joe Schmo, is sitting in the corner, is talking about sports, and they come and they tell him, hey, listen, you shouldn't be talking. He says, that guy's a תלמיד חכם and he's talking. Don't even get into the finer details what he was talking about. It doesn't matter. You're talking. You're now showing other people that it's okay. והוא לא שם לב שהתלמיד חכם דיבר דברי תורה. He doesn't even pay attention that the תלמיד חכם was speaking words of Torah. ולכן, therefore, מי שמחפש באמת לעשות את רצון השם יתברך, if you're a person that's really seeking out to do the will of Hashem, ואכפת לו מכבוד השכינה, and you care about the honor of the שכינה, ראוי לו למצוא זמן אחר לדבר בו בלימוד. It's fitting that you should find another time to talk about your learning. ובית הקריאה, גם בין גבר לגבר ישתוק לכבוד קונו. And the time of the reading of the Torah, even if it's between aliyot, be quiet. for the honor of your Creator. Honor Hashem right now. Hashem's talking to you. Hashem, you have His Sefer, you have His whole entire message in your hand. It's being read for the whole entire crowd. Be quiet. You want to find something to do, you're bored in between each aliyah, you learn Torah by yourself, quietly. You pray by yourself, quietly. To yourself. And this it says, those who honor me, I will honor them. It says in Shmuel. You have to check yourself. From the way I'm acting right now, is there going to be more honor for Hashem in the world or less honor for Hashem in the world? That's the side note. Now let's go in. The Zohar Kadosh says that you shouldn't hear any voice, just the voice of the reader of the Torah. Therefore, even when you go up to the Torah, it's halacha that you have to read with him, right? When you get an aliyah, you have to read the words that are written in the Torah with the Baal Koreh, but you do it quietly. The only voice that's meant to be heard in the whole entire shul is the voice of the reader of the Torah, and this is what it says: it's forbidden for anybody to be reading the Torah more than one person, meaning there's only the Baal Koreh that should be heard. Everybody pays attention as it's quiet, so that they can hear the words from his mouth, so that you can receive those words like you received them in the Mount Sinai, which was only through one speaker. There wasn't a whole bunch of people speaking then, right? It was like Kadosh Baruch Hu, and after that it was Moshe, but there was only one at a time. Whoever gets up to read the Torah, he's the one that needs to be heard and no one else. There shouldn't be two people speaking at once. Lashon Kodesh chad v'chad hu v'la tren diburin. Back then, remember how they would read the Torah? One pasuk in Lashon Kodesh, one pasuk in Aramaic. Even then, one person at a time. No overlapping, no Lashon Kodesh and quickly the Aramaic, no. One verse in Lashon Kodesh, one verse in Aramaic, no overlap. Vitren mishtakechim besefer Torah, geruta de raze de memnuta iu geruta de yakara de oraita de ishtakach besefer Torah uve'echad kala. When it comes to there's two on a Sefer Torah, Shnaim beSefer Torah, there's two people in a Sefer Torah, Zeu chisaron shel soda emunah. This is a lack in the secret of emunah. And chesron kavod haTorah nimtza beSefer Torah. And the lack of the honor of the Torah should be found inside the Torah. Meaning, you can't have two people go up to the Torah and they're both reading at the same time. It's a lack of emunah, it's a lack of understanding of what you're dealing with. The Torah doesn't need two people to be giving it over. One person is there, okay, let him read it, let him be the pipeline of that transmission of the light of Hashem coming down. Don't start to bring in confusion and to have more people. It's actually disrespectful to the emunah, it's disrespectful to the Torah, it's disrespectful to Hashem. Meaning, since right now there's such a high level of speech of Hashem being revealed in the world, the voice of the Baal Koreh is the revelation of Hashem's voice, Hashem's speech. Then whoever speaks, God forbid, while he's reading the Torah, or even if a person who reads it together in a way that he's also heard, quietly but he's still heard, it's as if you're speaking during the speech of the king. For sure that's a very grave sin. Specifically according to the depths of the secrets of the Torah, that the reading of the Torah is a time of revelation of the oneness of Hashem, as if you're standing on the Mount Sinai. Then so too, it's like, so to say, Hashem revealed himself at Mount Sinai. It's not just the message, it's the fact that Hashem is actually present revealing himself. Lo nishma shum kol nosaf klal. When Hashem revealed himself, there was not one voice, not one sound heard. You didn't hear a bird, you didn't hear a tree, you didn't hear a leaf, you didn't hear anything. No baby crying. Hashem spoke, the whole entire world was silent. To show the oneness of Hashem, meaning to show that there's no such thing as another voice in front of Hashem's voice. Hashem speaks, that's it. Any voice, any sound you could hear in this world is a development of Hashem's original voice being revealed by way of that bird making a noise, that baby crying, that man giving over Divrei Torah. Because all of the voices, all of the sounds of this world were created by way of Hashem. So too in the reading of the Torah. There can't be any additional voices. There can't be any additional noises. If there is a person that's speaking in your shul, even if he's telling over Torah, even if he's reading along with the Baal Koreh, there's a big blemish here. Because Hashem Yitbarach reveals his voice by way of the Baal Koreh. The person reading the Torah is responsible for revealing Hashem's word in the world. And whoever reads with him in a way that he could be heard as well is making a blemish in the revelation of Hashem. He's showing a lack of emunah. Oh, I need to read too. It's not enough that he's reading, I also need to read these words. It's not enough. Hashem set up a system where one person represents him every Shabbat morning and he reads the Torah. You also need to be the person. There's a lack of emunah here. The silence that you have is a sign of your yearning, of your longing towards Hashem. The Sfarim HaKadoshim, it says that when the Baal Koreh looks inside the book, inside the Sefer Torah, there's an arousal of chokhmah and bitul in the world. V'shtikat haka'al kedei lishmo et parasha, the silence of the congregation in order to hear it. He, when he looks inside the book, there's illumination in the room for everybody that's in the room to be able to have more bitul to Hashem. And by way of you being quiet, you are showing that you want that level of bitul and you desire to hear it being revealed. So you are the bina, you are the showing of, I want this. The Baal Koreh is the representative of everything is just Hashem. And you are proving that you want to live in a reality that everything's just Hashem. How do you do that? By being quiet. And two of them together complete one another to merit to serve Hashem with bitul on one side of, it's not about me, it's not about my ego, it's not about the success, it's not about the failure, I just have to keep the Torah. And to know that everything is done by Hashem. And on the other side, to serve Hashem from a hard work, from a passion, from a fire, from a yearning. And two of them need to become one. And this is the proper path to merit to have the Shekhinah dwelling upon you. In a deeper sense in Kabbalah, we bring the Lashon of the Chazdei David. The Chazdei David says, he was a student of the Rashash, and he says the Sefer Torah is called Zah. V'nikra Torah shebichtav. It's called the Torah, the written Torah. L'chen en bo rak tagin ve'otiot. Therefore, in the Torah, all it has is the crowns and the letters. Tagin ve'otiot. Shem ha'rafach ve'akelim ha'shvurim. They are the 288 sparks, or the rafach, the rafiach, right? The rafach of Azah. They are the rafach, meaning the broken vessels. Now you understand what rafach is in Gaza, broken vessels. By way of the reading of the shaliach tzibur, the representative of the crowd. Ta'amim v'nikudot mamshich sham ma achadash v'orot deben. By way of him reading, right, and he adds now the vowelage and the cantillation, right? All you have in the Torah is letters and crowns. And classically we have tanta, right? Tagim, ta'amim, nikudot, tagim ve'otiot, right? You have cantillations, vowels, crowns, and letters. Those are the 4 levels. 2 of them are in the book. 2 of them are added by the reader. The cantillation and the vowels. When he does that, he's bringing down the name of Ma, the name of 45, right? And the lights of Ben that left Hanikra, Ta'amim and Nikudot, that left, which are called Ta'amim and Nikudot, the cantillations and the vowels that are not put there. V'nichnasim betoch hakelim. Now they go inside the vessels. U'miverara mikelim v'nitzotzot design melachim u'mitaknam v'sod partzuf. Kitzur's deep Kabbalah, but you make a rectification. By way of him adding his 2 cents and the 2 cents that the Torah already has, now already you're making a whole entire body. All of this was by way of the hearing of the reading of the parasha, and by way of that, he gets deeper and deeper into Kabbalah, but it's not for us right now, but you have to know that there's big things going on here at that time of the reading. And the last thing that we're going to do today, B'ezrat Hashem, is why do we have 7 people that go up to read the Torah? On Shabbat, there's 7 readers of the Torah, there's 7 people that get Aliyah, and they are in correspondence to the revelation of the 7 midot that are specifically attributed to Chokhmah. Every Sfira has 10 Sfirot, right? Keter has 10 Sfirot, Chokhmah has 10 Sfirot, Bina has 10 Sfirot, right? And Sfirot are always Mochin and Midot, intellect and emotions, right? So the 7 emotions, the 7 Midot of Chokhmah are being revealed by these 7 different readers. Because on Shabbat there's an illumination of the light of Chokhmah, specifically on the morning of Shabbat, which is the secret of recognition, complete recognition in the reality of Hashem, until I'm able to nullify myself completely. And this Chokhmah itself has 7 different midot that are just for her. Shehem shivat hachalakim hamerkivim kol midah, that there are 7 parts that make up every single midah. And vehem hamidgalot be'aliyat zayin hakurim, and they are what's revealed each time a person goes up to the Torah. Up until now is our reading for this week, B'ezrat Hashem. We had the revelation of the secrets of the Nefesh Yetera and the Ruach Yetera, of Adon, and of the reading of the Torah and the importance of being quiet and understanding all of that. Next week we're already going to Musaf and maybe the meal, or maybe just Musaf. We'll see what we have time for next week. But we're up to Musaf. And then after Musaf we have the meal of Shabbat morning, and then already we get into the afternoon, Rava de Ravin, the afternoon, the will of wills from Mincha and onwards, B'ezrat Hashem.